To pass strict UK classification and censorship laws, all strong swear words have been dubbed with less offensive terms so that this videogram may be rated AA, adult accompaniment. It also contains scenes of mild comic violence. I hope this does not diminish your enjoyment of the film.
Come on. A casebook example of demonic possession.
Oh, hello.
I dare you to knock on that door 3 times. Do it!
You must be little Howard.
That's a girl's knock, that. You a girl or something? Why have you got knitting needles?
You're the crazy little child that killed his brother. Now we've assessed the situation, and I'm afraid you're going to be staying with us for a very long time. We are all with you. How many times do I have to tell you? We will protect you. Me? What are you talking about? These demons of the mind are in here. Leave me alone. Or rather, there.
Dr. Jones says that you're not real.
He's filling your head with lies. You are mine forever in hell.
I might as well go back.
So this is where it happened, eh, Howard? You bend so easily to my will. Quite a spooky little spot, isn't it? You have failed my test. I will not be leaving you. I've got a jolly J for you. Why don't you knock on this door 3 times?
No! No!
What?
Yes!
Hey?
Yes!
Hey?
Yes.
What are you doing? Between 1977 and 1983, there was one television crime fighter whose detective skills were legendary, but for all the wrong reasons. Now, 20 years later, he's back, facing retirement in the most challenging case of his long career. Baxter Investigates. Again. Damn automobile. Hello, Susie? I'm gonna be home a little late tonight. Well, the goddamn Chrysler broke down. Yeah, I'm trying to walk to a gas station. Some guy on the freeway said there was one over this hill, so I'm just gonna check it out. So, don't you worry, I'll be home okay. Yeah, I love you too. Bye. God damn, would you look at that? Well, should keep the sun off my head anyway. Thanks, pal.
Investigates again.
I'm Lieutenant Baxter, and as I always say, everyone's a suspect. It was a sunny morning in the city of Los Endas. Punks and junkies retreated into the shadows as commuters spilled out of the subway and joined the throng of pedestrians on their way to work. My name's Baxter, Lieutenant Baxter. I've been a detective for some 45 years, walking these mean streets, solving murder cases and bringing slimeballs to justice. I work here at Department Homicide. On this particular morning, my commanding officer, Captain Jack Hennessy, was about to receive a mysterious phone call that would lead me to investigate my final and most perplexing case.
Department Homicide, Captain Hennessy speaking. How can I help you? A particularly brutal murder, huh? Nasty. Just the facts, please. Yeah, I understand. I'll get my best man on it. Hello, Callahan. What? Well, where is he? What's he doing on catering duty? Well, put me through.
What the hell is it?
Callahan, I need you to go on a very important murder case.
Sorry, no can do.
Why not?
I've got bigger fish to fry.
Meanwhile, at the Los Endas City Golf Course, I was enjoying some well-earned leisure time prior to my retirement, which to be fair would have afforded me all the time to relax that I'd ever want, but I was never one to turn my nose up at a swing of the old 9-iron. Chen told me that they'd changed the rules that day, which meant I could stat at the 10th hole with a minimum score. Apparently, he'd got word straight from the president of the golf club.
Hey, we can start right here.
So close to the hole?
Well, the closer the better.
I never thought of that. T for two. You think I should take my coat off?
I'll do it for you, Baxter.
Thanks, partner. I hit that ball with such ferocity I didn't have a clue where it had gone, so I sent Chen to go see.
You better not make a habit of this, Chen. Making me carry my own golf bag. You find the ball? Whoa, I'm getting pretty good at this.
Are you looking forward to retirement, Baxter?
Half and half. It'll be nice to be able to play golf all day, every day, but I'll miss all that crime solving. Not that I've had any to solve lately.
One more case and that's it. It'll be easy listening from then on. You'll be able to do all those things you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, but I got a feeling the department doesn't have much faith in me anymore.
What makes you say that?
Well, I saw my name down for traffic duty at Los Endas Zoo. Again.
There it is. Hole 11.
Holy shit.
Keep your eye on the ball.
There is a phone call for you, Mr. Baxter.
That's Lieutenant Baxter. Hello? Baxter here.
Baxter, it's the chief. I've received an anonymous call from Dusty Hills. Seems there's been a murder out there.
Why are you telling me this?
Well, you're the only man for the job.
You mean that?
Well, everybody else is busy.
Oh, well, I'm busy too. I'm in the middle of a round of golf.
What's your handicap?
Handicap? It's not a handicap, it's a disability.
Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to drop everything and get to Dusty Hills ASAP. When you arrive, I want you to visit the morgue and view the body.
What's the name of the pathologist?
Dr. Lillywhite. Oh, and Baxter, I hear Dusty Hills is a pretty weird place, so be prepared for anything out of the ordinary, huh?
I'll get right on it.
Captain Hennessy was kind enough to supply us with transportation, and we traveled out over the dry Arizona desert till we reached the outskirts of Dusty Hills. I kinda wish he'd given us plane tickets though. But instead, we'd been equipped with a second-hand police-issue bicycle, which of course I rode while Chen had to run beside me. I quizzed Chen about how strange the landscape was, because it seemed rather too hilly and green to be Arizona. He explained that for some reason a wealthy philanthropist had made it look like the English countryside. Later, I also noticed a mysterious red obelisk by the side of the road. Chen informed me that it was in fact an imported public call box from England, which, rather innovatively, doubled up as a public convenience. As instructed, we went to meet Dr. Lillywhite.
This is it, Chen.
It's a bit creepy looking.
What were you expecting? Santa's grotto?
Inside, we found a labyrinth of creepy corridors, horrible hallways, and peculiar passages, which finally led to a rather repulsive receptionist. Dr. Lillywhite? And a strong smell of vinegar. Thank you kindly. Dr. Lillywhite?
I was wondering when you'd get here.
You knew you were coming?
Chief Hennessy rang and told me to expect you.
The body. Can we see it?
I'm afraid not. The autopsy was performed 6 months ago.
6 months? How could you autopsy a body 6 months ago if it's only just been found?
The death occurred 6 months ago. To be honest, we'd forgotten all about it.
But we only just got the call to come down here.
Well, I can't tell you anything about that. We usually take care of these matters ourselves.
What can you tell us?
The victim was male, Caucasian, aged around 30. We couldn't make a definite confirmation of identity due to the state of the body. The only distinguishing feature left was his long blonde ponytail.
You say victim, suggesting murder, but could it have been suicide?
From what I can ascertain, he was beaten repeatedly about the head and torso, and then his body seems to have been shredded like crispy aromatic duck.
So that's a no then?
What about fingerprints?
No fingers.
What about dental records?
Same problem.
No fingers?
No teeth, right?
Right.
I see.
Did you find anything on the body? Any clues?
We found traces of wood from the murder weapon.
Which was?
A piece of wood.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Why?
I was expecting more to go on.
They did find a sheep skull nearby, wearing a hat.
Curious.
Analysis on the hat showed traces of the dead man's sweat. which suggested he had recently been wearing the hat.
Curious. Well, if there isn't anything else, I think it's about time we met the sheriff and read the crime report. Chen and I stopped by some posters advertising a new supermall. To me, Kotek sounded like some sort of technological corporation, that or an ancient American civilization. Anyway, I took the opportunity to express my concerns about this murder to Chen. You see, I hadn't investigated a homicide since the case of the liquid enema 10 years ago, and to be honest, I didn't know if I still had it in me. Chen and I stopped by some posters advertising a new supermall. To me, Kotek sounded like some sort of technological corporation, that or an ancient American civilization. Anyway, I took the opportunity to express my concerns about this murder to Chen. You see, I hadn't investigated a homicide since the case of the liquid enema 10 years ago, and to be honest, I didn't know if I still had it in me. Lt Don Baxter and Detective Chen Wang Chung of Department Homicide.
Sheriff Stiffman, how can I help you, gentlemen?
We're here to investigate the murder of the ponytailed man.
Ah, the Doc Hills murder. But that happened...
Oh, yes, I'm fully aware of all that, but nevertheless, that's why we are here, and we'd appreciate your complete cooperation.
Well, I guess you'll want to see the case files.
Well, certainly we will.
Well, it just so happens I have them right here.
Let's take a look at this. What the hell's this?
Never mind. Just take a look at this.
Go Chen, check here. The murder weapon. And the ponytail. This skull with the hat on that was found nearby, did you place any significance on it?
Well, it appeared ritualistic, but it may have just been a coincidence.
Or what about the fact the man had been wearing the hat?
He could have taken it off and placed it on the skull himself.
Possibly. Any suspects?
Well, it happened a long time ago, and I thought it was all done and dusted. A local man named Killer McGee has already been incarcerated.
And what makes you think he's the murderer?
His name, and he said he did it.
He told you that?
He's a self-confessed psychopathic killing machine. Everyone around here knows it. He seemed the likeliest candidate. And when he turned up saying he committed the murder, he was taken at his word.
Well, it seems they got this case all sewn up, Chen.
Don't you think we should interview this man ourselves, just to be sure?
Well, I guess you're right. We'll take the murder weapon along to see if he recognizes it. Sheriff, where's this man being detained? We followed the sheriff's directions to meet Killer McGee, the man arrested for the murder, little realizing how much trouble he was to cause us. The high-security compound had less security than my Aunt May's chicken coop. So we just climbed over the fence and got in there. Mr. McGee!
Mr. McGee!
Mr. McGee! Mr. McGee!
Killer McGee, it's you.
Sheriff, that man you have locked up in the high-security compound is categorically not the killer.
What are you talking about?
Well, he cut my hand and fainted at the sight of the blood, suggesting he isn't even capable of murder.
Especially one as gruesome as this.
Your fancy policing methods won't wash with me. As far as I'm concerned, the murderer's been behind bars for 6 months.
I explained that for whatever reason it seemed Killer McGee had wanted the sheriff to believe he had committed the crime. Stiffman conceded that we could have something, as McGee did used to get bullied a lot at high school. He went on to inform us that when McGee had come back from Nam, he was a changed man. Claimed he'd butchered thousands of people in battle and said he'd kill anyone who ever went near him or his home. Stiffman said he'd thought it funny how McGee had managed to fight in the hostilities and hold down a job at the Dusty Hills gas station at the same time. With Kill McGee out of the equation, we're going to have to interview anyone and everyone linked with the case.
You could start with Hickory Doc, the farmer. He found the body on his land.
Get the hell off my land!
Police officers, Department Homicide. We'd like to ask you a few questions concerning the body you found on your property.
I refreshed Doc's memory about the mutilated corpse he'd found on his land. He finally recalled, saying that it had been months ago.
You city slickers ain't got much time for us country folk, has ya?
We're here, ain't we?
Looks like. Care for a piece?
Thanks. Not having any?
No, I'm trying to give it up. It's a filthy habit.
Why?
On account of all the dogs that pisses on it.
Cutting to the chase, I questioned Doc about the events leading to his discovery of the body.
I was taking my pet pig, Filipina, for a walk when I stumbled across the body. Blood-soaked leaves and all kinds of shit and mayhem.
I asked him what was the first thing to go through his head, and he replied that it was a pitchfork when he was 5. I then pointed out that I meant what was his initial thought when he found the body.
Blood and bone make good fertilizer.
Is that seriously what you thought when you saw the poor man's mutilated body?
Well, I slaughtered me own porkers, so I'm used to getting me grabbers blooded.
Mr. Doc, your attitude and your demeanor and all that yakety smack that's coming out of your mouth make you a very likely suspect.
Any guy that comes trespassing on my land, steal my pigs, and gets himself dead deserves all that he gets.
And that comment hasn't helped your case any either. Expect a visit from the sheriff any day soon. Good day, Hick.
Sheriff's, I don't mind. Well, y'all don't come back now, you hear? Damn city squealers.
We visited the crime scene on Dock Hill, a locale that made it damn convenient for that repugnant farmer to have done the deed. I had a real bad feeling about being there. I could almost taste the smell of blood in the air. Chen had seen the case file photos and led me to where the remains of the body had been found lying on a bed of moist crimson leaves.
Killer! Killer! Killer!
McGee, to you. Killer Smeller?
No! Killer McGee!
Killer McGee, it's nice to see you've gone free. Something funny, Chen?
No, I just remembered a joke.
Yeah, right, I've got a joke for you, right? A man walks into a bar, yeah? It's a sheep.
For God's sake, Chen! For God's sake! He's an innocent man!
I'm gonna give you, to the count of V, to hightail it out of here. V. Killer time.
We ran for what seemed like miles until we were sure we had lost our pursuer. As luck would have it, we had ended up back at that weird telephone booth. Not wanting to enter a call box of such a dubious usage, I told Chen I was too out of breath to use the phone and had him call the sheriff to let him know my suspicions about Hickory Dock. I asked Chen if he'd managed to get hold of the sheriff. He told me that Stiffman said he would go pick up Doc as soon as possible. We then went to find nourishment at the Dusty Hills Cafe, which was conveniently situated across the road from the sheriff's department. The monkey burger looks interesting.
Monkey burger? What's it made from?
Beef? Oh, I'm not eating that. They shouldn't advertise it as one thing if it's made from another.
I think I'll just have a sandwich.
Good idea.
Ready to order.
Yeah.
What would you like?
I'd like a roast raccoon and radish, please.
Ooh, really pushing the boat out, Chen. I'll just have a bologna and buttercream, please.
Didn't your son used to work in a cafe?
Yeah, he did. He got married, you know.
No, I didn't know.
Well, neither did I, until I received a piece of wedding cake through the post. Cheers.
You weren't invited to the wedding.
Nah, well, I was busy anyway. I ended up working on a case with Campbell, Marine Doctor. You see, I'd taken a little fishing trip to Windy Harbor where Campbell was stationed. But while I was there, someone poured greasy grime into the bay and the rock pools were covered in oil. We spent the entire 2 weeks cleaning it up. As a fishing trip, it was a disaster. All I caught were a few crabs.
I heard Campbell had some kind of nautical accident.
He went on a mission to Alaska to save some whales from poachers. They say he was piloting his souped-up speedboat through the ice floes when he fell overboard. He was never seen again. Though I have a feeling he's out there, somewhere, trapped in the ice, frozen in time, waiting to be revived in the far future by super-intelligent dolphins and breastfed back to health by monkeys.
Your sandwiches.
Ah, thanks.
And which one of you is Baxter?
Now that'd be me.
There's a phone call for you.
I'll take it. Hello?
I just went to pick up Hickory Dock and found him half eaten.
Well, is he all right?
No, he's dead.
What a terrible accident. Well, at least he got his comeuppance. Thanks for your help, Sheriff. I'll be seeing you.
Hey Baxter, I haven't finished.
What is it?
There's something else. It looks like murder.
Murder? Why is that?
The extra set of footprints suggested someone pushed Doc into his pen of starving pigs and rang the dinner gong.
Dear me. I really thought we'd found the killer too. I'll let Chen know the news. Hickory Dock has been murdered!
So that means the killer is still on the loose.
Maybe this case is beyond me.
You're not thinking of throwing in the towel, are you?
No, it's not that. I just don't seem to be able to get inside the mind of this killer. The man I suspected is wound up dead himself.
Maybe you're going about the investigation all wrong.
What did you say?
I don't mean to question your methods, Baxter. You know I respect you. You're my mentor. Since my parents died, you're the only one I have left.
Yes, it's a damn shame about your folks, Chen.
You taught me a lot growing up in a Chinese restaurant.
No fooling. Your prawn balls are the best.
I only wish they hadn't died, choking on those fortune cookies.
Do you want anything else?
No thank you. We better be going. A policeman's work is never done, you know.
Why you guys in town anyway?
We're investigating the murder that was committed here 6 months ago.
But I thought you locked up my son for that.
You're McGee's father?
Gino McGee, pleased to meet you. I've always blamed the boy's strange behavior on his mother. She is a real witch.
You didn't get along then?
She was a witch. She got burnt at the stake.
Sweet Neil Sedaka, are people really so backward round here?
She was grilling some meat when her apron caught fire.
Oh, I see.
So my son didn't do it, huh?
We let him go pending further investigation.
Any idea who the murdered man was?
We don't rightly know. Not yet, anyway.
I read something about it in the paper. I recognize the description. It was a man with long blonde hair, right?
That's right. The only recognizable feature left.
I saw a man with hair like that around here a few times. Came in for something to eat. Said he was leaving town that day because his business was done.
Did this man say what business?
No, he just ordered a salami and sour cream sandwich.
Didn't he introduce himself?
Nah, just seemed in a hurry.
Well, what happened after he left?
Drove off in his car. He was headed for the freeway.
Could you describe the car?
Yeah, red Chrysler. Well, maroon actually. Same car I saw Rusty Fender towing away that day they found the body.
Where can we find this Rusty Fender?
Downtown at the junkyard.
Thank you for your help.
No problem. Haven't you forgotten something?
There, take it.
There you go, Tommy.
Chen and I managed to find our way to Rusty Fender's premises. But noise from a nearby factory was so loud that we had to resort to lip reading and subtitles. Rusty Fender.
Yeah, what you want?
No doubt you're aware of the gruesome murder that's been committed.
Uh-huh, but what it got to do with me?
Chen told Fender that a witness had seen him towing the murdered man's car. When he asked if we had any evidence, we drew his attention to the upturned vehicle outside.
What am I gonna do about it?
You're gonna start telling us the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. So help you God.
It all started when I was in the family.
Family?
The mob. I work for Don Scalione. One day he calls me into his office and he says, "Hey kid, how you doing? I got a little job for you. Mancini's been muscling in on my teeth. Go and fix his car with a time bomb. I want compensation for this insult." I did what he said, but I made a little mistake. Mancini and Scaglione's brother Polly drove the same automobile. The wrong guy got blown up. Then the family were after me. So I went to the feds and shopped the lot of them. So they set me up here on the witness protection scheme.
Wow, that's some story.
Thanks. I pick up all the breakdowns, wrecks, abandoned vehicles. It's my job.
You would never kill a man to get his car, would you?
Well, I've done it before.
Excuse us a second. He's got to be the killer, Chen. He used to be a gangster, and he's as good as confessed to killing guys for their cars.
I'm not so sure, Baxter.
It all adds up. We've got to get the sheriff.
You really think he's a suspect?
Everyone's a suspect.
Hey boys, find out anything yet?
Only that Rusty Fender is the killer.
Rusty Fender? The junkyard guy? What made you suspect him?
He confessed to being in the mafia and stealing cars from guys he'd just killed.
Just a second. Sheriff's Department. Uh-huh. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
What is it, Sheriff?
Somebody just found Fender's body.
The death rate in this place is suddenly on the increase. Which means that we must be getting closer to the killer. Whoever it is knows we're on the trail.
You boys look like you could do with a bit of relaxation. There's a quiet little bar down the street.
Nice little place.
Smells interesting.
Quite an atmosphere. Remember, we're on duty, Chen. Make mine a soda.
Cause I am afloat, a fishing float from an old man's line.
That'll have to do, I guess.
Drinking old man's wine.
Hi there. You're tuned to COTEC Radio with me, Rock Quarry, here in the heart of Dusty Hills. You've just been listening to On the Riverboat by Richard and Graham. A hit for them back in '64. And now a request from Carl, who works as an attendant at the morgue. Hope you're listening, Carl. Here's Crimson Slash with Crash and Burn.
Ticking off like a rocket, going stratospherically high.
They call this music? What's wrong with a bit of Andy Williams or Edward Woodward?
Some of you may recall Dusty Hills resident and ex-Crimson Slash guitarist Eddie Inhaler had to pull out of the proposed Supermall opening ceremony concert 6 months ago and hasn't been seen since. Although he has been heard. Complaints have flooded into the sheriff's office about noise pollution from Eddie's guitar playing. Eddie Inhaler has also failed to attend his weekly anger management course for his violent outbursts. If he is seen, public are advised to avoid him at all costs, as he is liable to fly into an uncontrollable rage at the drop of a hat. On a lighter note, here's Earl Turner and Buddy Hooch with the Sandstorm Trail.
Sounds interesting. Violent rage? Drop of a hat? This Eddie Inhaler may know something about the case. He may be a long shot for Chen. At the moment, we ain't got any other leads. Sure enough, the sheriff was able to direct us to the pretty gothic-looking motel. Were we finally about to meet the serial-killing scumbag who had been terrorizing Dusty Hill?